Hi guys, it's Tuesday, September 15th. This is Mrs. Sullivan for Social Studies. This is our second attempt for this video, so hopefully this one works much better. So if you have not done the warm-up for today, please go back and make sure you get that finished. The warm-up describes one way humans affect the environment, so there's lots of different answers here. They could be positive by us affecting the environment by we plant more trees to help the animal habitats. We could also say something about recycling, picking up trash. If you have the negative aspect of that, it could be that we cause pollution. All of our cars cause pollution. It could be that we cut down trees to build cities and homes. There's lots of different answers on there that would be acceptable. Pollution would be another one, and there's many more. So make sure you complete that. Today, our objective is to compare and contrast governments of the world to better understand how your country and other countries work. How we're going to do that is you have an article to read called Who Rules? You're going to complete the governments of the world table, and then there is a government's true and false that needs to be completed and submitted on Canvas. If that doesn't get done today and gets done tomorrow, that is fine also. Your goal is to just be able to have an idea and be able to identify the different governments of the world. So the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to bring up the article Who Rules, and I'm going to show you how to do that. In modules, the next thing on here is Lesson, Governments of the World. You would click on there. And the article and the table are both listed on here. So for the assignment today, you're going to have to either print or copy down the Governments of the World table, which is right here. So you can either bring that up on your computer, you can copy that if you would like, if you have a printer, or you can on a separate sheet of paper write that out yourself. If you want to copy it into a document, then you would have to kind of select it like so and then put it into a Word document. So you will need this table. You are also going to need the reading, this government reading right here. So when you click on that, it's a PDF, so it's not just automatically going to pop up on your computer most of the time. What will happen is it'll download it. So when I click on here, if you notice I get this little download message, I'm going to click Show in Folder. And then all my stuff in my folder pop up. I have a bunch of the same thing because I've been showing people all day. So I'm going to click on where it says Government Reading. Now I have the reading. I'm good to go. So you need the table and the reading for your assignment today. And as it says, here's what you're going to do. You're going to read through the Who Rules document, and you're going to use that document to fill out the table. We've already done that. So now if I look at this table, for all of the different governments, they are listed here on the left side. And for each one, I'm filling out 3 columns right here. I need to know who rules that government. Is it one person? Is it a couple people? Is it a king or queen? Would the citizens be the ones that rule? I also need to know, how were they put in charge? Were they put in charge through a family, being part of a specific family? Were they voted in? Were they put in charge by force? That is what you're going to be looking for here. The description is going to be notes to yourself on how do they have power? What kind of power do they have in the government? And how is that government run? So usually about 1 or 2 things in the description over here on the right. Now on here, I've got these first couple ones done for you, but we are going to kind of read it together here at the beginning to figure this out. So I'll go ahead and start reading, and I'll kind of show you how to look for certain things. So someone's got to be in charge. If you compared all the governments in the world, you would find one thing in common. Someone is in charge. The question is, who? There are many different forms of government. Some have one leader who has all the control. Others give power to the people. Here are some forms of government that exist or have existed in the world. An autocracy is the first government listed on your table. These go in the exact order as what's on your table. So I'm looking for who rules, how are they put in charge, and a description. So an autocracy is a government in which one person has all the power. There are two main types of autocracy, a monarchy and a dictatorship. So I read this paragraph about autocracy. I'm going to go to my government's table. Who rules? It told me that one person is in charge, so I just need to put that it's one person. It did not tell me how they're put in charge. It's one reason why I wanted to do this for you. For this one, it depends on the type of autocracy that it is. So that's all I'm going to write, that it depends on the type. My description, I could repeat this. I could say that it's a government in which one person is in charge. I don't have to if I don't want to. I just want to make note right here that it could be a monarchy or a dictatorship is what an autocracy is. And then I'm good on that one. The next one is monarchy. Okay, now we get a little bit more information that we have to sift through. So we're going to do monarchy together also. So in a monarchy, a king or queen rules the country. The king or queen is known as a monarch. Monarchs usually come to power through their family line. The current king or queen's oldest child becomes the next king or queen. In some monarchies, especially those in historical times, the monarch held all the power and had the final say over the government. In modern times, monarchs usually share power with other parts of government. Often, they are also subject to the country's constitution. So as I look at that paragraph, who rules? It's going to be a king or queen. We have an actual name of a type of leader there. So a king or queen is going to be who rules, or if you just put monarch, that would be fine also, if you know what that means. How are they put in charge? It runs in the family. It's through the family line. Most of the time, it would be the oldest child. And a description. So I want to look at what kind of power do they have and how is that government run? So in this case, it's two different things. So sometimes the monarch can hold all power, or they share power with other parts of the government. So there's two different ways that would work here depending on what country you are in. And that would be all I need right there. So you should be completed with the monarchy. Now, I don't have dictatorship in here, but I'm going to go through that also with you. And then I'm going to have you do the rest by yourself. So a dictatorship is a form of government where one leader has absolute control over citizens' lives. If there is a constitution, the dictator has control over that too, so it doesn't mean much. Although other parts of the government may exist, such as courts or a lawmaking body, these branches always do what the dictator wants them to do. They do not represent citizens. So for a dictatorship, it asks who rules. So right here, it talks about one leader. So just one person or one leader is going to be what you would put in the who rules category. Then it doesn't say on here how they gain power. And there basically can be three ways that they are put in charge. One would just be by voting them in. So one could be voted in. A second one could be it runs in the family. And a third one could be that it's by force. Sometimes they force their way in. And then for my description, I definitely want to know what kind of power they have, and it talks about it right here. It talks about how the leader has absolute control over citizens' lives. If they tell you to do something, then you do it. Or you may be going to prison, or you may be dying. And we'll kind of get into more detail about that later in the year. But they have absolute control over citizens' lives. So if you filled out that dictatorship part, you should now have these first three done. The rest of them go ahead and do on your own. and then you should be good to go. If you have questions, please send me an email. If not, have a fantastic day.